Manchester United could actually end up losing Rasmus Hojlund. It does look now that Fred is probably going to leave this summer. While FFP is an issue, we don't really have to sell in the summer. We can sell in January. Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your latest Manchester United news as some interesting developments around Rasmus Hojlund have been breaking this morning. So let's get right into it. PSG have lodged a €50 million bid for Manchester United target Rasmus Hojlund. Now look, we know Manchester United are keen in signing this player. He's basically our number one target now. There was reports, I suppose, earlier in the transfer window that Rasmus Hojlund and Manchester United were going to have a bit of competition, primarily from PSG. They're looking to get a striker into their ranks as well, and they've wasted no time in relation to getting a bid in, while Manchester United are still potentially dilly-dallying, delaying in actually getting an official bid in. We did hear last night that United are potentially, or have potentially lodged a verbal bid for Rasmus Hojlund, but PSG have wasted no time. €50 million bid for Rasmus Hojlund was I suppose entered by PSG. It comes after Manchester United submitted their verbal proposal of 50 million plus 10 million in add-ons yesterday. Now, PSG are said to not want to go any higher than the 50 million mark, and they are potentially going to walk away from the deal if this bid is not accepted. So look, as it stands, Manchester United are still potentially in the driving seat. It does look like they are going to bid more than PSG. PSG potentially are not going to increase their bid. So Manchester United still hold all the cards. It does look like Rasmus Hojlund is, I suppose, leaning towards a move to Manchester United over PSG. We know he's a United fan as well. So that in turn, I suppose, helps Manchester United. But interesting developments over the last few days. Rasmus Hojlund still on the cards for Manchester United. Let's hope we can get it done, because we seen last night against Real Madrid how desperate Manchester United are for a number 9. So yeah, let's hope we can get this deal done. Verbal agreement in. Ball is moving. It does look like personal terms are probably agreed as well. So I can see this one getting done, well, hopefully by the start of the season. Definitely by the start of the season. Now, reports have suggested as well today that Fred has agreed personal terms with Galatasaray. We do know that Manchester United did reject an initial bid for Fred, a pretty low-balling offer from Galatasaray. Reports have suggested that they are going to come back to the table with Manchester United. Now, we've seen this over the, I suppose, the couple of deals that Manchester United have got done already this summer, that personal terms can be agreed before a fee is agreed. So it does look like Fred is going to leave this summer. It more than likely is going to be Galatasaray. Now, that all depends. There has been interest from, of course, Saudi teams as well for Fred. If they come in with a bid as well, he may have options there. We know that Fulham were I suppose, looking at Fred as well. We've seen Marco Silva talking to him after the game last season as well. So interest does remain there. I don't know if they're going to be coming back in with another bid, if they're going to be able to afford him. But it does look like Fred is going to leave this summer and provide, while not an awful lot, he is going to provide some funds to be reinvested, because we do know Manchester United are looking to not potentially sell to buy, but we are looking to sell players to generate revenue to then go back and reinvest it into the transfer market. And the sooner we can do that, of course, the better, given the fact that, I mean, the transfer window is closing in a few weeks' time. So, yeah, the quicker we can get these deals done, the better. But it does look like Fred is going to leave this summer, and potentially Galatasaray. Now, reports have also suggested that Scott McTominay is the number one target for West Ham this summer in relation to filling the void left by Declan Rice. Of course, he went to Arsenal. Look, we've heard the rumours and the reports suggesting maybe potential move for Scott McTominay already. This is coming from ex-WHU employee on Twitter. Of course, he's been pretty much front and centre in all of West Ham's dealings this summer. He did say that it was going to be a done deal between Arsenal and West Ham before Declan Rice made the move. So, look, it does look like West Ham are going to be coming back in for Scott McTominay. Again, he will provide some well-needed funds to be reinvested into the transfer market for Manchester United. I think he will be surplus to requirements, especially if United are looking to go out and buy maybe an Amrabat and get another central midfielder in. Of course, we've seen Mason Mount come in already. Fred is going to leave by the looks of it, we mentioned already. Scott McTominay potentially as well. That will provide some funds to get back in. And I think it's right because I don't think Scott McTominay is good enough. You know, my I suppose thoughts and feelings on that have been quite clear over the last couple of years. But I think it would be a good move for everybody. I've mentioned this before. I think Scott McTominay going to West Ham would be a good move for him. It would be a good move for West Ham. I think he would be a very good player for them. And I think it would be a good move for Manchester United to get some, like we said, funds back in that we can then go and reinvest and looking to improve our central midfield even further. Because, you know, if we look at the amount of games we played last season, if we're going to be getting to the latter stages of competitions again, and you hope we would be, I think we're going to need a lot more cover in that area as well. You know, we've seen last night with the game against Real Madrid, obviously Kobe Mainoo went off injured after a couple of minutes. Christian Eriksen came on and he just looked completely out of his, I won't say depth, but he looked completely lacking in terms of pace, in terms of physicality, in terms of, you know, sharpness in that midfield. When you come up against the likes of a young midfield that Real Madrid have now, look, albeit they have probably one of the best midfields in the world at the moment. But I think it's important that we do go out and revigorate the midfield even more, get some youth in. We've seen Mason Mount come in. Amrabat is a 26-year-old in his prime as well. So I think that would be a good deal for Manchester United to get done all round. Now, look, FFP has been, I suppose, touted around Manchester United over the last few weeks and months as well in relation to the transfer window. We spent heavily last year as well. And, you know, there has been reports suggesting that Manchester United do need to potentially sell to buy in relation to the transfer window. Now, reports have suggested that, say, the Rasmus Hojlund deal, getting the number 9, is not really inclusive in that sell to buy kind of strategy, and that the money for a number 9 is there. Now, in relation to any other additions that are coming in, maybe a second number 9, another centre back, another central midfielder, these kind of things, Manchester United are going to have to offload some players to generate some money. Now, it has been reported by Laurie Whitwell that for FFP, United can sell later in the year, including the January transfer window, in accounting for the whole year. So it's not necessarily a thing that needs to be done instantly in this transfer window. It is always harder to shift players in the January transfer window, however. So I think it is I think it would be more beneficial if United can get these kind of players off of the books in this transfer window, more so than, you know, relying on it in January. We will have, hopefully by January, new owners of the club as well, with an influx of cash and things like that also. So that is going to be interesting to see. But Manchester United are in no hurry, I would say, to offload players that they potentially don't need to offload if Erik ten Hag does want to keep them for the upcoming season. So that's the latest Manchester United news this afternoon, guys. We will be live from 7:30 tonight to go into all of these stories in depth, as we usually are. Please join us at 7:30 tonight, of course. Hit the like and subscribe button also. Get your comments into the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you tonight at 7:30. Take it easy.